It's time for your Intergender Deathmatch. This is a tag team Intergender Deathmatch scheduled for one fall.
This right here, hide your kids, hide your wives, hide anyone under the age of 18, because this is about to be a bloodbath. Listen, you've heard the history of places like CZW, Cage of Death, the Deathmatch tournament. You've heard about the legendary FMW and Anastasia Morningstar and all the death matches in Japan. But that man right there, Casanova Valentine, has revolutionized the death match in the 2020s. The man who revolutionized the no-ring death match, who will fight anybody, anywhere, who will bleed buckets of blood if it means getting a victory. And tonight, we see it happen in Ridgefield Park.
He is not just fearless. He is not just fearsome. He is one of the most intelligent wrestlers we have in the business today. He is not a man to be taken lightly. He is a man to be feared. Who is fearsome? He will orchestrate you into an early grave if you're not careful. I believe coming out next is one of the headliners tonight, isn't that right?
That is true. Adrian Santos' tag team partner, Sadiee Suicide.
The beautiful Sadiee Suicide, beautiful and deadly.
As you said, don't be fooled by the beauty of Sadiee Suicide. She is a vicious, vicious competitor.
Now, what is it that makes a death match different from another kind of match?
Listen, it is in the name. It is a hardcore match. Take it to another level. Matches made famous by the likes of Mick Foley and Terry Funk and Onita and Mike Awesome and many, many more.
They can bring anything into that ring. Am I right about that?
That is right.
Introducing first in the corner to my right, fighting out of Bushwick, Brooklyn. Here is Brooklyn Black Death, the king of the no-ring deathmatch, Casanova Valentine. And his partner, she's fighting out of the depths of darkness, weighing at 253 souls. This is Anastasia Morningstar. And their opponents, first out of Guayaquil, Ecuador, and weighing 260 pounds, he is the Ecuadorian Nightmare, Adrian Santos. And finally, she is fighting out of Palm Beach, Florida. She is Sadiee Suicide.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, referee James McGrady with the gloves on, with the elbow pads on. A death match gets very violent, very, very quick.
He's wearing those pads for what reason?
For his own protection.
For his own protection.
Santos and Casanova, these two have history. When Casanova Valentine started his no-ring death matches, Adrian Santos was one of the first people to step up, to say, hey, I'll fight you in the no-ring death match. And it was because of the matches that Adrian Santos had with Casanova Valentine that he was able to make his name, that he was able to get his name out there and eventually become the king of the no-ring death match.
Now, when you say a no-ring death match, do you mean in a parking lot, in an elevator?
Anywhere.
Anywhere they find each other?
No ring.
Ambush?
He has fought in bars, he has fought in nightclubs, he has fought in breweries, he has fought anywhere. He has fought in sandlots if he has to.
How do you know so much about this sport?
It is my lifeblood. This is what I do. I live for the sport of professional wrestling.
Well, it's a pleasure to be working with you tonight, I must say.
Oh! Sadiee suicide! Just ate that ring apron!
See, she's got all her teeth when she comes up.
Sadiee Suicide, a resident of West Palm Beach, Florida, has wrestled only once before in the New Jersey area. But this is not her first death match. In fact, the only person in this match who has never before wrestled in an actual death match is Anastasia Morningstar. She has wrestled in a hardcore match before, which does have a host of rules. But a death match, literally no rules. You saw Adrian Santos walk out here with a staple gun. You saw Casanova Valentine walk out here.
And now he's got a garbage can lid that she conveniently retrieved from under the ring. Possible could have been put there before. I see what you mean, partner.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, with a deathmatch, pinfall or submission will still get you the victory. But trust me when I say, it's usually a lot more than just a simple pinfall or submission that it takes to end the match.
Oh. We have just seen punishment all night. Oh, Casanova
Valentine. 1, 2.
That's why they call it Intergender.
Oh! There's that staple gun that Santos brought with him to the ring.
You called it. You called it.
Right to the head of Anastasia Morningstar.
He's got it. He's going to put a staple in here. It looks like that's going to right in the noggin. Oh! I've heard it said that they hurt more coming out than they do going in.
That is very true. And you see the scars all over the body of Casanova Valentine.
Oh, nearly misplayed that suplex right onto himself.
Covered by Santos. Only a 1 count.
Santos with the most stamina here so far, or at least taking the least amount of punishment.
And that's the way you want it in a death match. You want to take the least amount of punishment. You do not want to be on the receiving end. Morningstar coming in to try and save her partner.
Double suplex. Obviously no prohibition against both partners being in the ring at the same time.
Well, in a death match, there are no tags necessary. It is literally a free-for-all.
Is that a cheese grater, partner?
That is a cheese grater.
There also seems to be a fair amount of creativity to winning a death match. I would not think to use a cheese grater.
And now you see Sadiee Suicide with some salt on her hands. They are looking to literally rub salt in the wounds of Casanova Valentine.
That's diabolical.
And there she goes, pouring that bag of salt into the exposed wound, the exposed blood of Casanova
He is in
Valentine.
pain. That is venomous. That is venomous.
Oh, Morningstar and Suicide on the outside. I thought Morningstar was going to powerbomb Suicide to the 9th circle of hell, but instead, Sadie Suicide able to get out of it with that beautiful Hurricane Rana.
Looks like Casanova is bleeding to me.
Listen, that man has bled more than most people bleed in their lives. That man has bled more in one match.
There is that a door coming into the ring?
That is a door. Santos bringing a door into the ring. I have seen Casanova Valentine deal with broken glass, barbed wire, thumbtacks. I have seen this man walk through the fires of hell and come out victorious on the other side.
He looks down now, but I wouldn't count him out by any. Oh, and he stops, turns it around. Oh, the clothesline.
Big clothesline by Casanova Valentine.
Girls are still on the outside. Can you get a submission on the outside of the ring and win the match that way?
No, you have to get that submission. Well, yes, if it was a no-ring death match, you could. But considering that this is a death match within the confines of the ring, the submission or pinfall would have to happen inside the ring.
What do the ladies have out there? And I didn't want to say what it looks like.
Oh, that looks like a barbed wire halo.
Thorns.
Barbed wire.
Goodness.
Barbed wire crown. And Casanova using that fork.
Is that what that is? That's a barbecue fork.
Using that fork into the skull and forehead of Adrian Santos.
That is the most serious cry of pain we've heard all night. I think Sadie Suicide is bleeding here, too. What's the rule on stopping matches for blood?
No, there is no stoppage. None for a death match. It's called a death match. People literally die. There's no stoppage in a death match. And Valentine once again wrenching back on Santos. You see McGrady checking if he wants to stop. Sadie Suicide is busted open.
Yep, she is. She's
Sadie Suicide is
forehead
busted open.
Down to her chin. That's what made me ask that question.
Morningstar just laying in the strikes. And the chair shot by Sadie.
There's two chairs, one in Sadie's hand, one in the ring. Valentine is down. The door is still up. And there is a crescent wrench.
Listen, do not be surprised by what you see come out in this match.
I guess I don't have the steely nerves like you do, partner, because this is terrifying me.
Double chairs here.
Whoa.
Double chair shots again.
Across the back, down she goes.
And Sadie Suicide getting in a couple of shots.
And another. Sheer torture. Oh, Intergender.
Oh!
She goes a big elbow.
That was a huge clothesline by Casanova Valentine.
The crescent wrench.
Santos once again taking down Casanova.
What do you call that move he just used where he took him down back with the forward?
Not sure off the top of my head, to be very honest with you.
It's kind of a neck breaker. Oh!
Santos put through the door that he himself set up.
We have seen a lot of pain tonight. This is easily the most brutal match we have seen by far. Casanova, foot on the neck of Sadiee suicide. The blood is streaming. People groaning. Faces are getting slapped. There's something else coming out from under that ring right now. What could it be? Another door.
And yet another door coming out from underneath that ring.
We're going to see the kitchen sink next, probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. I have seen Casanova Valentine use items in his matches that you just wonder how the heck they got where they are.
I told you, he is creative, he is brilliant, he is an orchestra master. He's a maestro of mayhem. The maestro of mayhem, Casanova Valentine. Sadiee Valentine crawling in. That girl has guts. That girl has tenacity.
Sadiee Suicide is still fighting. She is busted open, but not giving up.
Blindside with the garbage can lid.
Yeah, I don't think that was the smartest thing in the world to do.
It was gutsy, but not smart. Oh!
Huge DDT by Sadiee, taking down Casanova Valentine. But now Morningstar getting in on it. Oh, beautiful reverse flatliner there. A deep six kind of flatliner by Anastasia Morningstar.
She's got her adversary in trouble up on the ropes. He's losing his balance. She's got a grip on him. She could put him through that chair and put him through that door if he's not careful.
Santos does have the high ground. Not anymore.
Oh, she's going to go
but
right.
Now Morningstar, power bombed. Covered by Santos, 1, 2, and 3.
What a match. What a show. What a performance.
Adrian Santos with a huge power bomb through the door onto Anastasia Morningstar and gets the huge pinfall victory for his team.
And I believe that was the door she brought into the ring.
It very much was. Her and Casanova set that door up, only for her to get powerbombed through it.
Fitting and ironic, since the first door to be brought in, he went through, and he brought it in. Big round of applause from the crowd here. Capacity crowd here at the E.G. Albuquerque Knights of Columbus Hall. Beautiful Ridgefield, New Jersey.
We've got broken doors, chairs, cheese graters, blood everywhere.
And a beautiful, venomous woman taking a victory lap. Casanova Valentine struggling off.
Wants no help. He will walk off on his own power.
He'll be back. They don't call her Sadiee Suicide for nothing. What a show.
Santos and Suicide with a huge victory in this deathmatch contest here at the inaugural Guts and Glory.
We are now